tuned to Giving Back? Is there something within you that makes you want to give and try to help the community? Well, that's what tonight's podcast is about. Tonight we're going to be talking about the art of giving back. Got a special guest, man, that's going down. We're going to get into some funky shit later, but I just want y'all to know that the core of tonight is giving back. So, if that's in you, stay tuned. We're going to get on some real shit tonight. It's the Detail Did It podcast. It's your boy. Let's do this.
You're now tuned into the Detail Did It podcast. Come catch a favor.
God damn, boy, what's that? Some kind of weed or something?
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
You know you're successful when you pray before the show starts.
Hey, man, I pray before everything, man. I don't never not pray. I don't know how not to pray, man. Prayer, meditation, that's what it's about.
I feel like Janet Jackson's dance team or something.
Oh, man, it's the Detail Did It podcast. It's the illest podcast in the universe. The universe. Yeah, man. So, what's going on, man?
Wait, you gotta say your mission.
Yeah.
Man, but I'm just taking my time.
Oh, okay.
Taking my time. I'm feeling good, man. How y'all feeling tonight?
Great.
Hey, I know we got a script. I know. We'll get there.
Stick to the script.
Yeah, no, we got
No script, man.
Yeah.
we got a script. We got a
model. Let's go.
But you know, I'm just going with the flow. You know what I mean? You know.
You get one take and now you're just...
Yeah. See, I'm
just
flowing
about
off
the
that
script.
right there.
For sure.
So no, but you know, I'm your host, Detail Did It, or Detail rather, and we got
Liz with the biz.
and
Lord Anthony Sorrell.
and we got a newbie. Well, she's not a newbie. She's just been in the background and busy.
Hi.
So now she's actually joining the show.
Wow.
Introduce yourself.
My name's Ariana, or Ari.
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 I like that.
I just got bangs today.
Okay.
Just got bangs
I want to those names. I don't know what that was about. She's got
I
bangs.
thought you were
I just got
gonna say
bangs today.
I like it. Bangs.
I just got bangs.
That was Little Mermaid?
What's that? That's Ariel, though.
Yo.
Hold up.
Is that Little Mermaid?
That was a Little Mermaid.
That
Okay,
was-
you don't know it's a Little
I had to
Mermaid.
check the judges, and the judges approved.
No.
Little Mermaid. I had to call that out.
Yeah, when she's
Ari.
getting the voice to...
But, yeah,
she's
but-
getting the voice to her.
Exactly. But you're Ari. Come on,
Ari,
tell us about yourself a little bit.
I do hair.
How long have you been doing hair?
I've been doing hair for 3 years. So
Sweet.
that's fun.
All right. Specializing in what?
Specializing in, I've just decided recently, the health of hair. I also do scalp micropigmentation, which is little impressions like tattooed dots on people's
Yes,
scalps
that's what
to
I've been
recreate
talking
hair
about getting
lines.
into that. Like, I want to do that myself so I can
It's
retire.
amazing.
I'm trying to bring this edge up. Little
I won't do a sharp one though. I can't. I won't. I physically can't do it because I hate the way the sharp one, like the
No, just fill me in.
I can
Just
do
fill-
that.
just fill it.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Sharp one. I don't know this. Like,
The shirt, the one with
So
where
it's like
just wear
microblading
it.
for like the ladies to get the microblading for the eyebrows. Basically a tattoo
Yes.
eyebrow, but it's not
Your
like
scalp.
just blurred out. It's literally like every single strand of hair, and it looks so real.
Yes.
Katie, our girl Katie does it.
It's legit.
So yeah, ladies, if you need microblading, we got it over here for the low. You know what I mean? So
that
Katie,
sounds like that's high.
Katie's the truth with it.
That sounds high, actually.
What, 350?
Whatever.
Yeah, no, that shit is going 5 and up.
I'm going with the crown.
And she's doing like free
The touch-up.
touch up.
Yeah.
So she's killing it, and she's actually really
So
good.
does it hurt?
No, she knocks you first.
It is not like it doesn't go deep like a tattoo. It's like
Yeah,
just on
it's like the first layer.
because you gotta like get it redone like every 6 months or so depending on your
Like-
skin.
I see.
I felt like the 6 was better selling.
Oh, my bad.
Just
All right, so
It's fast though, it's your fade.
all right. So let's do some shout outs real quick because we got some cool people in the crowd. Which is basically our cameraman. You know, I hate saying cameraman. It just sounds like regular. Like there needs to be a better
Yeah.
like
Director?
camera. I don't even want to say camera.
Director.
Like director.
Director.
We
I
got
would say
director.
why would he not be the director?
Yeah.
Quiet director?
Yeah.
Come on,
I
there's
think
no such
so.
thing as quiet. He just says like
What's
this.
up,
He
Zane?
just taps his watch. He like, you're overtime.
Yeah, you're right.
You're on.
That's why I
White
gotta donate
text,
to the show.
right now.
Donate some, we need some what do you call those people?
Sponsor.
Sponsors. So we get some better equipment, some better shit,
Co-sign.
so that we can, do better. You know what I mean? So Zay can we can get a little bit more time. Cause he's expensive, man. You want the best, you gotta pay the best.
Straight up.
Trust me, I hit all the time.
Yo, so last week, what happened last week?
No, before we get into last week, no. We gonna stick to the script.
Oh, there's a
But
script.
before we get into
There's a script.
no, there's been a
We're not
script.
one take Derek.
No, we still want to take Derek, but listen, Derek. That's all that matters.
Okay.
All right, so listen. First of all, can we get a hand clap, Lizzie? Because this is episode 24. You know what I mean?
Hey, I heard we had new sounds.
One step at a time. We got heads to pet and lives to touch. But anyway, I like that. Heads to cut and lives to touch.
That's
Ooh.
dope.
You
Bars.
did it. You did it.
Yes.
Yo,
Hashtag.
hey, for the people listening, you steal that.
Who we got out here on
They're
Facebook?
suing all of you.
Because I never do this part, man. Like, who we got on? Ooh, everybody's tuned in.
Everybody's tuned in. We got
What
seven.
up, Marco,
I see 7 people
Robert,
watching.
Tammy, Kimmy, Oscar, John, Anthony. Oh, that's you, man.
That's me.
Ronald, what up, Ron? And so, like, y'all need a good electrician. Y'all click on this boy, Ronald Hawkins. He will get you
Ronald
right.
Hawkins, a good
yes,
electrician?
get you right. Hang on, all my fans, all that
I
shit.
don't
I
know.
need a
Yes,
manhunt.
Bradley. You need, what's Bradley? Oh, okay. Bradley's in the banking. Let me see. What you need? Okay. Oh, my cousin. Oh, what's up there?
Shout out to
Yeah.
everybody watching.
Oh, that's my girl.
Everybody that's
Maggie in the building. What's up, man? Bruce, what up, baby? You gonna come? Shout out to Bruce. He's gonna come help us cut some hair, and he bringing the chair.
Wait,
And he bringing Bruce coming with his baked beans. With his baked. Oh, never mind. I'm not even going. You gotta be here for his baked beans. Sydney, always
Okay.
tuned in. That's my guy.
He's at Chacho's.
He's at Chacho's. What up?
Chacho?
Yeah.
Get your life together, sis. Get your life together, sis.
What up? What up, Michael? Who else? Remy, Robert,
The one with the
Pamela. What up, girl? Dee, what up? What up? What up? All right, cool. Marcus, Dan Hernandez. What up, D?
Yeah, which Chachos is he at? Is he at the northeast side Chachos?
What Chacho's you at?
The one that gets shot up or the one that's got blood in the potatoes? Which one are you at?
Oh man.
Yo, my girlfriend hit me. That's a good question.
Who we got on here? I got
One or the other.
I'm on the gram too. What up, Mike? What up, Mike? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, Greg? What up, Cuz? Now's the truth. All right, about 8 followers. Okay, so all right, I ain't on the gram, but it's okay. All right, so let's get this shit going, man. So first of all, we like to start our show off with letting us know the purpose of us even being here to begin with, why we go forward, why we do what we do, why we get together, why we brainstorm, why we collaborate, and basically the mission. So let me read this. I'm gonna have this memorized at some point. All right, so the mission statement right here for our podcast, basically our goal for this platform is to awaken 100,000 people to their true selves in the efforts to evolve the masses and push the culture forward through analytical thinking and the realization of self-worth. We will provide the tools for our listeners to gain control of their minds by waking up and living a well-rounded, balanced life through self-awareness and social conscious collectively. And that's, when I say collectively, it's all about us. So yeah, again, this is your host, Detail. Liz with the biz. See, when I say my name, you gotta be ready, man.
We did this already though.
I'm just
like, why are
saying.
we doing it
You gotta
again?
go with the
I'm sorry,
flow.
I was not really.
No script, Derek is back.
Yeah,
No,
this is too much.
this is the script right here. On the up, it's the script. On the down, it's the flip.
Used to pop
Bars. Facts.
In between classes.
All right, so y'all know where we at. Y'all see the bar. Y'all see the background. We're broadcasting live from South Crown Barbershop. Of course, we at 1010 South Flores, right here in Southtown, the upcoming growing area. So it's kind of like the back of downtown. So make sure you subscribe to this podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, whatever the case may be, make sure you click the subscribe button, share. We're trying to just push the culture forward. And as well, if you got comments, whatever, leave those and we get back to you on that. Shout outs from last week. I have my OG Chris Cutter in the building.
I'm mad I missed that.
Oh, that was a great show. But Ja took over though. Ja took over. But listen, let me tell you what was the highlight though.
Wait, Ja came too?
Ja showed up and showed that.
Okay.
Shout out to Ja.
You know what? At the same time though, I wasn't upset because I knew that Chris Cutter, he's like
Yeah,
he's his own personality.
What? He needs his own podcast.
Yeah.
For real. But I just want to give Liz. Can you get ready for the hand clap? Shout out to Lizzie, man. Lizzie was my girlfriend. She was sick the whole day. She didn't talk to nobody. Like she was almost messing my father. You know, on Friday we be whoop whoop whoop, and I look up and she whoop whoop. I was looking up, she was like nothing. You know how you throw energy at somebody, you kind of get it back. Nothing. It just like stuck in the wall, like dropped. So the whole day she was feeling like crap. I even tried to tell her to go home, but she just like such a hard worker. She's like, nah, no. And I'm like, dude, like you need to go home. You're not laughing at none of my jokes. You're not vibing to the Drake. Nothing. So
You can't play the same 5 Drake songs though.
actually, I can.
You can't.
And
Man.
I will.
Same 5 Drake
Yes,
songs.
I'm playing that shit to everyone in the shop and the customers.
You're
on the boards.
1%.
Okay. So anyway, so I didn't even think she was gonna make it for the podcast. Showed her back up, and some kind of way, she just turned on. I never even seen her. I can't wait for y'all to see last week's show. Like it was Zay. Am I lying?
You're not
Did she
lying.
not take the show like she did? She like in a different element.
I couldn't even tell she was sick.
I told her today you're not allowed to talk on Fridays now.
Follow it up.
But you know, we know the same thing though. Now I think it's almost natural. I don't run into you, hit you with the shit I read or anything that's on my mind or something that's going on.
We'll just scan.
I usually just kind of hold off on it. It's the same.
It's fucking up our friendship though, man. Because now we don't want to have deep conversations. We're like, say that shit on the podcast. Like, whoa, that sounds too good. Say it for the podcast.
You guys said it. I don't.
Yeah, I guess.
I just let it fly. You go, nope.
No. Remember that shit.
Save it, bro.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you. I
Let's shout out
that.
that.
It's good.
Anyway, so where we did the shout outs.
And rest in peace. to
Yeah.
everyone.
Hey, we can't just rush
shit.
past that,
Yeah,
girl.
Sorry.
You can't just.
Well, you
You
did.
can't just run over her name.
Yes.
Well,
Do
rest
this
in
back
peace
up.
to the soul.
She has
Matter of fact, let me do this.
Okay, go.
Let me do this.
Go ahead.
Yes, I gotta do this. Sorry.
My
She
bad,
don't
y'all.
know.
My
Yeah,
bad, y'all.
Woo! So, we wanted to say rest in peace to Aretha Franklin. Icon. There's so many things we can sit here and say about Aretha Franklin.
Can you just call her the queen of soul like she's supposed
Yes,
to be?
she is. I feel like the queen of soul is
She's
almost
the
an
queen of soul.
understatement.
That is her
Like
name.
there's no name for her. When you perform for kings and queens, when you perform in 3 congressional conventions or what do they call it, like the
Inaugurations.
bro, like she foresaw Obama before he became, the president. She was rocking with him when he gave the little hearing that they did before the last president, and she saw it then. She was like, "Yo, I'm trying to. This is something special about this guy." And 4 years later, he's running for president. But she was already on it. Like she was a big giver, and she didn't take no shit. Crazy shit I heard about because now that she's passed away, I didn't really come up on her like that. So, but like now that she's gone, like I've been hearing and listening to a lot of things that's so interesting, and I'm just like, wow, she was like a super duper figure. Like I just been hearing a whole lot of stories about it. It's just incredible what type of person she was. Like damn. So all day in the shop we've been playing with her.
Yo, Sabrina's playing all day long too.
Yeah, man. Like, and I'm just like, wow, like this is music.
Yeah.
And it was
Yo.
all types of songs, not just the R&B.
Queen of soul, man.
Bro, and I'm also looking at these images, and she was a big cigarette smoker.
I didn't
Like, yeah, this is black and white pictures of her in front of a mic with a cigarette, like, and blowing.
Just
Damn.
because
Nah, there's no comparison. I'm
you're
just
not the
saying.
king of soul.
No, I'm not. I'm just the king of cuts.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I said it.
Okay.
That's
I just
not
no JK after that.
Okay, it's you.
Yeah. So, anyway. But we ain't talking about money. We talking about queens. So out of respect, I feel like we should just take a moment out.
Just a moment.
what you do. All right. So yeah, now we gave that respect. All right, what's the bamboo?
Bamboo,
We
man.
had a great time.
Bamboo. Yeah.
You were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there, but
I wasn't.
random as hell.
I was
So we want to also let y'all know that in the 1010 South Flores complex here, we got apartments and levels or condos, whatever, and then we have the workspace, or what am I calling the shops underneath. We just got some new neighbors. It's a new restaurant, and they're called Bamboo. They just opened up today, so y'all need to go check them out, support. We tried out the wings. They were fucking awesome. I had the lemon pepper with spice. So they're working on. Oh yeah. Super complimentary if you're dining in.
Crown soup, was it?
It was
egg drop
spicy. It was spicy egg drop soup.
Egg drop soup.
Ice hot sour.
Oh, and hot and sour.
Like so. Yeah. So it was very good. Check them out. I'm excited that we don't have to drive nowhere now. Again, we have like another close option.
So did you meet the owners and everybody?
Yeah, we met Fred. Fred. No, you're Fred. I feel like his name was Fred too.
I feel like it was.
I feel like his name was Fred
I don't
too.
maybe Fred,
I don't
but
like
I think-
sucking names.
And I think the waitress's name was Lexi.
I don't. My third cousin makes them know that.
Fred.
You're not getting off.
I know you're Fred.
It's on purpose. So,
I really think her name is Fred.
yeah. So shout out to Fred. Or, so hey, good luck. We're gonna do everything we can. We're gonna make sure we push all our clientele your way. I actually had the food and it was actually good. We just want to make sure it stays good. Because everybody's good when they first open up. The portions are dope. Everything everything's action. And like that second month in, like what's going on?
Restaurants are tough.
They are tough.
If anybody gets a restaurant,
Especially over here.
I just wish anybody, any part of the city, especially San Antonio, wish the best of luck.
And listen, opening a business period.
So I gets down.
All right. So, the gist of this podcast today is we want to talk about. I don't like this neck thing. I got to look at the people. The gist of this podcast, though, is the art of giving back, and I do believe there is an art to it, and I think the art is something from within. I think it's something within all of us that it should be an innate want to help, especially if you're doing well. And even if you're not doing well, the truth of the matter is, if you want to be doing well, you should help somebody. That's just my truth. Whenever I need somebody, I'll give someone some money. Yeah. All right, maybe that's
Wait.
We'll
talk about that later.
Okay,
Bottle
that's
that
deep.
up.
That's another. Yeah, bottle that one up. Put like Joe Madison. Put it with a ghost and get.
Right. Hey, Daniel said that Leslie is the manager and Fred is the owner.
So we was right.
He was right.
We was right, and I suck with names, but that's the
Name. I'm so happy.
So, but
Can we tell them? Can you let them know we got their names?
You let them know.
Oh, I mean, I hope they know.
listening.
I hope they hear it.
Is somebody? Are you live?
Can you
No,
let
I'm
them know we got
watching
their
it
names
live,
right?
but they're
Can
watching
you
it
let them
live.
know we
So
got their names right?
We got the
Yeah.
names right. Let them know.
I think they
Show them this one.
I hope.
It's irrelevant. Go to Bamboo. They're the truth. We gotta help support. That's what this podcast is about. Their platform is our platform. Our platform is your platform. So we just want to bring, awareness to anybody doing something positive, especially if it involves the community. So, but before we jump into the gist of a segment of our podcast, which is about the art of giving back, I want to do a real quick recap on the missing child that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
They found her, right?
They fucking
Isn't that crazy? They found her. Yo, can I get a round of applause for that?
Yes. And her name, which one was this one? This one was, I can't even see her. Was it Alana?
This is why you should look at it on the phone.
Yeah, check that out. Alana Nicole. See, I know, man, I'm on tonight. What's that, baby? Alana, I can't believe I remembered that. But that's something she remembered. My wife will be proud of me because she's like, you don't remember shit, I tell you.
I see
You don't listen.
That's a good thing to live.
I'm like, hey, did I need to know for today? Because I know what's happening today. tomorrow? I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, like that is freaking awesome. We gotta keep it going.
They didn't give any background on it. That's what my problem. That was the
Well, like what happened?
the unsatisfaction. You were like, yeah, she's home, she's safe. Yeah.
Like,
All right,
that's
yeah,
it.
you're like, you
Cool.
just-
And I'm like, nah, man.
Because
You
you
know
know
me.
inside.
I don't know what the fuck is going on because. Nah, it's not about being nosy. If you have kids or you know,
Yeah.
like, you want to
You
know.
want to know what's going
You want
on.
to
Yeah.
know what's going on. And anything that's uncharacteristic or characteristic, you want to see the mannerisms, see the outcome.
Yeah.
This is on the parents' end.
But at the end of the day,
And then and Lizzie's right.
and as far as
Lizzie's
we're
right.
concerned, we did our part.
Yo, Lizzie's right though. I'm low key nosy, so I'm not gonna.
We'll find out.
I'm not accepting. Oh, she's home now.
You want to know what happened?
Right.
Maybe she home now.
Let's go.
Is she grounded? Is she grounded? Did you take her cell phone? Where was she? How long was she gone? What was she wearing?
Who was she with?
Who was she with?
Did you get kidnapped?
Was she wearing the same
Oh,
clothes
was
she
you
came
just out of
back?
town?
I'm not accepting just she's
Alright, you're right.
But we are happy she's back.
We are very happy.
I'm with it.
Alright, so let's get the quick vocabulary out of the way. Vocabulary word on the podcast, we like to educate and, just, I feel like if you know a new word, you feel like you want to go tell somebody, you want to use it in a sentence. We've been using the words all day, right? We've been using these words. And then we hear words that we've gone over in the podcast. Like today, someone said preamble on the radio. We were watching, and me and Lisa both looked at each other like, preamble. And it's like, but then you hear it, and then you listen to what you just heard, you like completely understand it to another level. As before, you would kind of have to figure out what they're probably talking about when they use these words. You know what I mean? But now you know exactly what the fuck they're talking about.
So, have you ever listened to a rap song?
Damn it! Where's the person?
I saw it. It's got some paper in it.
Where did that?
It's down here somewhere. It was down there. Oh, so my question is, have you ever been like riding down the street and listening to a song, and the rapper or whoever it is in the song mentioned a strain of weed that you smoked before?
Oh yeah, I smoked
It's
them
the
all.
same thing.
Yeah,
That's the same
I
thing.
smoked them all.
I smoked alcohol.
Man, I'm pro cannabis. We gonna do a cannabis
When
episode.
you feel that connection over the airwaves,
Yes,
that's the
I know.
same thing.
I know what you're feeling.
Right.
Wait, what's our word of the day?
Oh, my bad. Matriculate.
Why?
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. Now that I'm so aware, like whenever I'm listening to shit, right? What do I do? Listen, what happens? How do we get new words?
Well, listening to the radio in the morning.
Listening to like talk radio, someone will
like,
say a word, I'm like, hey,
What's
let me say
that
it.
You never
Google
Matriculate? And she'd be like, what? I'm like, matriculate. And she'd be like, huh? I'm like,
You've never heard of this word before.
No, I've heard it, but I don't know what it means. I've heard all words, but I'm ignoring them.
All
You know what I'm saying?
all the words.
I'm 4 years old. There's not too many words I ain't heard. You know what I mean? But so now it's like, okay, when I hear something that I don't know, I want to know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, I was like, matriculate. That's the word of the week. And it sounds cool. Like you want to use it in a rap or something. You know what I'm saying? Matriculate.
You know, in my head, it
It's
sounds
just
like
you know what I'm saying?
in my
It
head-
goes good.
it sounds like you're going down, but in the definition, it's a
So it's a come up. So
So matriculate
matriculate
sounds like you're coming down.
he enrolled at a college or university. So, example being, he matriculated at the University of Vermont. So you upgrade, you go into the next level. So it's mostly used in education.
Right.
As far as that's concerned, you can like matriculate.
I've only heard it in
to the 12th
education.
grade. Yeah, that's matriculation. You know what I mean? Or an enrollment, if you will. So
I just feel like it's a come down. Like I'm about to matriculate off these
these
brownies. I don't know. Whatever. Insert your motive.
Yeah, but that's still good. You get the matriculate, you get the brownies, or you smoke some.
I matriculated to another level.
But it is
I have an idea in my head that it's
that
not
might be the new
common.
word we need to say. That might be the new
It's a come
code
up.
word. Like, yo, you got that matriculate?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Nah, man, I'm not even saying like I'm not gonna say I'm gonna come up no more. I'm not saying I'm about to blow up.
Yeah.
My whole shit.
Yeah.
Until I did a podcast, I'm about to matriculate out these motherfuckers. Saying
Facts. I love it. Matriculate.
Nathan said you matriculate through.
yeah.
There you go.
Shout out to Nate.
Right. We're gonna continue because that's what essentially that's what this podcast is for.
Yeah.
To make us all matriculate, make us all upgrade, evolve to the next level in life or for yourself.
Right.
That's what that is.
Cool. Matriculate.
So now can you see where does it make sense?
It feels great. I mean,
Okay, that's all it is, man. As long as you matriculate up top, I'll be good.
I understand. It feels great.
Alrighty. Man, I need to go ahead and introduce our super duper guest. But I'm gonna let Lizzie do this. I'm
Okay.
gonna let you jump in.
That right. Yes, let's give a round of applause for my guest. He is one of my clients that lives right upstairs in the Tenton building.
Right, just get this guy's address. Go ahead.
You pick the door. Stay with us, but I'm not taking the door.
That's why, yes, let's welcome Dr. Fred C. Campbell.
Come on up, brother. Come on up. Bam, you take that one. We'll keep it moving. And y'all can share. Sharing is caring. How you doing, Fred?
I'm doing great. I want to shout out you guys because you've been really nice to me, and I felt really at home here. So it's a great place to get a haircut and have a drink or two. So and I know you guys are really good people. But I've gotten
Thank you, man. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, man.
to know you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, yeah, man. We get nervous. No, yeah, man. Let's take another shot, man. We got your stuff right here. He said he's on that gentleman's jack.
Yeah, well, I got that as a gift, so I thought I'd pass it along.
Oh, no, this is from Matt.
Yeah,
That's from you?
we finished.
I appreciate
we
it, Fred.
finished that one.
Oh, she went back
We want another one.
today.
Just-
Yeah, that was gone.
Yeah, we
All right.
finished that day.
I'm glad you had fun.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
I feel so left out when y'all finish bottles in the day. Like I wish I was at least.
Man,
Oh
it'd be
my
100
God.
people in here sometimes. I'll be going around just passing shots out.
Natalie and I killed a bottle of tequila one day.
Yeah.
That was a bad time.
That was bad. Yeah, we were talking about the art of giving back. So,
Yes.
I mean, so where you from, man?
Well, I grew up in Waco, and
Texas.
Yeah, then I moved to San Antonio. I've been here since I was a teenager. Yeah, but I've really enjoyed living here, and I've been able to see a lot of this area. So I can tell a lot of stories about San Antonio. Wonderful.
Okay. All right.
So, why do you help? Life is good. You don't have to.
Yeah. Well, life is good, and life is better for me
What do you
when I'm helping.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like a smile on somebody's face when they feel like you're connected.
Mhm.
So a lot of folks that have a lot, and they can use help too. Not because they really did anything wrong. It's just because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. And so I love the experience of connecting. It's a really great feeling.
Where does that come from?
I grew up in the church in Waco, and I grew up in the church in San Antonio. I'm still a church person, and I still go to Travis Park, and we have a real strong mission to take care of people, the very, very lowest of the low, the homeless people, who I think are just wonderful people, and it's just great to be able to find out what their stories are. They're just usually wonderful stories and tough times, but these are people that are ready to try to come back usually. So,
But they just need that
little help, and some of them aren't thinking just right. They may have some mental issues, but if we can, get them on the even keel for a while, maybe with a little medicine or something like that, or some counseling, they're likely to come back and get a house and get a job, and be just like you and me. So it's amazing.
your specialty. So you're a doctor, of course. Like, what is your education like? What is Give us that. A little bit of that.
I'm an Aggie, and
Okay.
that was a crazy time back when there were only men at A&M. But
Wow.
yeah, right, big Aggies, And there weren't any men at A&M, but you know, it was a lot better when women came on. And,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that A&M was an all guys
Isn't that amazing? Up until about the 70s, there just weren't any women around. So,
But where were the women? They was at home cooking and cleaning.
right.
I had no
I
clue.
mean, that was a crazy time. We had to bring out the kegs to have a good time.
Wow.
But once we had women there, you know, it was a lot different place, and I like the idea of having a good school with you know, people that can contribute from both genders. So that was one of my goals that has really come along. And now I have a daughter who's a Maggie too. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
my granddaughter does the same thing.
Cool, man. That's awesome. What? I'm sorry. Listen. But I'm saying, like, what was it that happened in your life? Did you see something in your life that made you just want to give back? Like, did you reach a certain a place of success, or just like you experienced something as a child? Like, what was it that makes you because you do this every Sunday of your life? You go down and you feed the homeless, and you do what you do.
Well, that's a good question, because you know, it's hard to say just exactly the time that happened. I had a friend when I came to San Antonio. We worked together, and we were in high school together. He came from somewhere else. He was an African American, and I really wanted him to stay with me, and we were going to a convention together, and you know, it just didn't work out that way. My parents just didn't like that idea, and I thought, my goodness, he's just like me, and you know, it's time for me to stand up. And so, you know, the next time I asked him to have somebody like that come and stay with us, and you know, they changed too. So, you know, people do change, and you can get folks to come around. When I was in medical school, there was a real problem with you know, having minority African Americans and Hispanics and that sort of thing being in medical school.
Was that in San Antonio or was that in Waco?
Oh, it was everywhere. This was in Houston when I was in medical
What year?
school. It was in the 70s.
Yeah.
And medical schools were basically all white and mostly guys.
Wow.
And so we had a program at my medical school in Houston, and we brought in some people from college that were African Americans and Hispanics and men and women that needed a little extra boost.
Mm-hmm.
And what we did was we gave them some courses that brought their GPAs up, and they ended up, most of them got into medical school. And that was really sort of the beginning of making a real difference in terms of the way people looked in our schools and the way doctors look. And that's such an important
So less
thing.
than 50 years ago, you're telling me that everybody in the medical field was male
About 90%.
and white.
About 90%.
Do you know what the statistics are today?
Well, much better. Now, I'm not going to say they're great, but we're talking about somewhere around maybe 40% women at this point, and it's getting better.
You know what I'm saying? Like you see now, like when you go to hospitals and you go to even like urgent care clinics and stuff, you see a lot of minorities, you see a lot of women. You know, you see a lot of.
Sure.
I don't.
I'm just interested to talk about his times, though.
Sure.
But you know, but
It's that's very important,
it's
because
the transition how far we
I was
came.
going to say it took some people who were who knew that, you know, folks that are being cared for, they like to see people that look like them. That if they can't speak English, they want to have somebody that can speak their language. And believe me, it just makes for a healthier situation to take care of people, and healthier for people to be taken care of if you have those different faces. So, but it wasn't an accident. It took some people that were really interested in being, you know, affirmative about making that happen. So I'm still after it. It's not the best, you know, it's not best at this point. But
So how do you feel about this Trump era then? I feel it's a little preamble,
Well,
but like, you know, I feel, and I ask that because it seems like some of the things from your era are trying to come back.
right. In our era, it was like, you know, the Mad Men series on TV.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Mad Men?
No.
Women had their place, and men had their place, and you know, that was not a good thing. It was not a good
It's
thing
based off a
for.
book.
Yeah, it wasn't a good thing for women. It wasn't a good thing for men. And I realized early on that I wasn't gonna be the kind of person I really wanted to be unless women had the same kind of rights and responsibilities. And I had 2 kids. I had 2 girls. And my goodness, I had to have, they had to have those chances too.
Right.
And I got to know people that were really nice, black, brown, white, and poor and disadvantaged, and all of them had to have a chance. And so that's sort of where I am right now, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm still, I'm on the commission committee at the medical school. I'm doing what I can to make sure that the faces change. Because when the faces change, the patients, I think, get better.
Yes, of course. Diversity is everything. That's why you look around South Brown, see diversity. And I know that's why you gel with us.
It's wonderful.
I know that's why you love coming in here.
I've left other places. I think this is where the people are. And where the people are is where I want to be.
That's where I want to be.
You guys are quality people, and you know more about what life is about than some of the people I've been around with for the last 40 years. And I just like to be here. It's a good feeling.
That's a big deal. Got me on misty eyed over here.
So where has your ambition taken you outside of Waco, Texas?
Okay.
Where have you been?
Okay, that's a good question. I went to Los Angeles when I was in medical training. Left Texas, went to Los Angeles. I worked at a VA hospital where really unfortunate people that went to Vietnam and ended up coming back without arms and legs and really kind of screwed up in the head.
Black people that came back from Vietnam that were spit on the way back.
Lots of people like that. All colors and all shapes and sizes. And it was an awful thing to have to take care of them, but at the same time, they were the most worthy people that ever want to take care of. It was a tough thing to see folks come back in that condition. I never wanted to see war again, nothing like that. And so then I left Los Angeles and went to one of the craziest places on earth, West Virginia, where it was Hollers, West Virginia. I went from places.
What's it called?
West Virginia. You ever heard of a hillbilly?
You said
The Hollers of West Virginia.
Why do you call them the Hollers?
The Hollers is because they have the really low places and the really high mountains. So the low places are called hollers, or hollows. But anyway, they call it the hollers. And so the people live down there, and I can tell you, this is the crazy thing. Some of the poorest people I've ever known were white. I mean, all white. There was virtually no blacks, no browns, nobody in West Virginia except white people, and they were so poor that they didn't have 2 dresses. My kids would go to school, and a girl would come in with the same dress every single day for 9 months, and they'd come in skinny the next semester because during the summer they wouldn't get a food program, and so they couldn't eat. They didn't get the lunches. They didn't get the breakfasts that were provided them. That's the kind of thing that they had to deal with. So, poor people and people without advantage don't have to be black. They don't have to be brown. I want to make sure that everybody has a chance. Okay? And for the most part, right now that means, making it a little more equal for minorities and for women. But everybody needs to have a chance. Equal. So my kids were able to see everything. They saw the poor white, the poor black, the poor brown, everybody. And it's just a much better situation.
I think that's probably did a lot for their character.
Oh, it did. It did. They still talk about the girl without with one dress.
They'll never forget that.
They never will. And they won't forget the folks here in San Antonio that they went to school with, that African American and Hispanic people that were also without a chance. And when people say, it's those minorities, and they say, are you kidding? There are white people all this country that are discriminated against too. So it's a matter of just not being sensitive to other human beings.
And I think that's what it is. 'Cause to me, it's only one race. It's the human race.
It's the human race.
The color we are based on the origin of our ancestors.
That's great.
If your ancestors came from where it was really hot, you're gonna have some color. Say it came from where it was really cold or something, you're gonna be a little bright, if you will. A little beige, if you will. But okay, cool, man. You got any more questions for him? 'Cause I had another question.
Ariana,
Yeah, I know
you
you
got
got
any
more. Wait, what would be your main focus on community service and how can we help?
Well, community service can be as close as next door. Of course, we live right next to the south side. Of course, San Antonio's got a tradition of having a lot of folks that are hard-working, really wonderful people that just can't seem to get out of literally of this part of town. And it has to do with their being able to get the basic things that are important. There's nothing more important in my mind than education. So if we can get folks to support education, I just noticed that there was a bond election recently where there was in the south side where they were it was impossible to get enough money or enough votes to pass that bond, so to get the money for education. But there are places in this country too where they're beginning to talk about free education for kids, free education for people in high school and college. No one should have to try to afford education. Education should be free for every single person, and I'm willing to pay whatever it takes to do that. So if anybody tells you that it's just not it's just not affordable to take care of our kids' education.
And we can have a space force. We can fit our education.
So true.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Actually, that's actually the next step. I'm trying to get you started.
Right.
Yes.
Don't get me started.
Oh, shit.
I learned a lot over the years. I used to campaign for Richard Nixon, believe it or not.
Wait a second.
Ah, whoa. I screwed up. I screwed up bad. Okay.
You can't pay for
You
it.
screwed up bad. They fired you?
Screwed up bad.
They fired you?
Yeah, no. I actually they gave me an invitation to his inauguration. That's how well I did for Richard Nixon. Anyway, things happen. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and right now you have to look at what's going on with politics, and you have to find out who are the people that have heart, who are the people that really care.
Yeah.
When you have heart, when you I don't care whether you're religious, whether you're a humanist. I mean, people that have heart are the ones that care,
Right.
and they know that kids that are separated from their families, when they try to escape the persecution, gangs in in South America, Central America, and then they're separated and they're forced to really behave like animals because they're separated from their families and they really don't have any rights at all. Everybody knows that that's wrong.
Right.
Everybody knows that's wrong. Even the people that say that they're not going to do anything about it, deep inside, we just have to convince them that.
But that's what I'm saying. We can't convince them.
Well, sometimes people are so wrong that you just have to outvote them. You just have to get going. You have to move. I was registering people to vote when I was in high school and college, and I'm still going door to door for people that believe that a young child that's separated from his mother and father and have to fend for himself is the worst possible situation we could possibly be in. So I'm gonna keep going door to door.
Man, why? I just gotta say, man, why people are tripping these days, bro?
Yeah.
Like they're calling the police for no fucking
Yeah.
reason. Like black
Yeah.
people can't even be
Yeah.
just eat barbecuing.
Yeah.
Studying in a college dorm
Yeah.
for a test.
Yeah.
They're getting shot in the back from
Yeah.
a cop sitting in his car. Won't even
Yeah.
get out.
Yeah.
They're not even working getting out.
You know something? That's out of ignorance.
But
There's a difference between, to a great extent, there's a difference. There are people that are just prejudiced and they don't know what's going on. I don't think that's most of the people in this country. I think what we have to do is we have to get people to know each other. We have to have people to go to church together, to go to school together, to make an effort to know what each one is like, or we'll always be afraid.
that goes back to our
ignorant.
diversity. But what do you say to a person that don't give two shits about diversity? What do you say to the bigots? Like what
Mhm.
What
Well, I'll tell you
president
this.
of this country
I'll tell you
is
what-
voting this type.
I'll tell you what Jesus would say.
Okay.
You know, I don't claim to know what Jesus really meant, but I'll tell you what I think Jesus would say. Jesus would say, "I love you,
Okay.
but I cannot tolerate you."
Okay. I think Jesus will say that too.
And,
I don't
and
think
I
Jesus
will,
would turn
and
the other
I
cheek,
will-
so to speak.
Absolutely no. Jesus would turn the other cheek for a while.
Yeah, for a
But
while.
then Jesus would say, "I have to do something in the name of love to make a difference. I cannot let this law allow people to be discriminated against." Okay? That's Jesus. Jesus is tough love.
Hey, I'm with you on that.
Okay? That is
I can't-
that's the good news.
Yeah, that's the great news. But it's like, to me, we can't change people's heart.
Well,
we can only change principle
We can.
or
We can
or
change.
policies.
We can change some people's hearts. The
How?
people where we can't change their hearts, well, it's to get to know each other. That's the way to change people's hearts.
Donald Trump ain't changing.
Okay, if you can't change somebody's heart like Donald Trump, you've got to oppose him, and you've got to do it with every ounce of your being. And
Okay,
that's
I'm
what
glad you
Jesus
said
would
that.
do. That's what Jesus would do.
So then that just takes us back to the voting.
Yeah, that's exactly
So, I
right. So,
think- Go ahead.
you know, Martin Luther King and all the folks there, like John Lewis, they risked their lives to get the vote for people. I saw that happen. I saw that on TV in the 60s. I saw it live. And I listened to those folks. I saw Martin Luther King in jail. I saw John Lewis getting beat in the head. I think the vote is the only way to make the difference. And, you know, there's nothing more sacred than being
But
able
our
to
people,
say,
I'm gonna tell you something though. Our people are. It's hard for us to get our people out there. Like as far as brown and blacks, we didn't show up last
Okay.
election.
okay,
Let me tell you something. I went down to the election office so that I can become
Yeah.
a person that can register people as well.
Okay.
And when I walked in there, it's like 82 seats because I counted the rows and the whole place is packed. I walk in there and it's about 4 black people out of 80 some people. And
okay.
I said to myself, man, like we're not on it.
Yeah, it breaks my heart to see that, okay? Politics has to be what they say retail, it has to be person to person. And if we and there are so many people that will organize folks to go out and do block walks and they'll find the communities where it's going to work the best. It's just a matter of one person at a time, one relationship at a time.
You seem like that shit take too long though, man.
Sure does.
Like we've
It is
been one
really-
I'm just saying.
It is really hard to do that.
Fred, we've been one person since Martin Luther King
It is
left.
really hard to do that.
And motherfuckers is still getting murdered, still getting lynched in the street today.
Okay, I'll
Like,
tell you
I
what's.
feel you, Fred, but
All
I
right.
feel like
I don't like what's going on. I don't like the.
we gotta be 100, man. It's the detail of the
Yeah.
podcast and
Yeah.
people are, these people are getting, shot and killed and no repercussions. And
Yeah.
that shit ain't cool. Like
Yeah.
it's not right. And then
You're
you have
right.
a president that's getting up on this little pulpit or whatever you want to call it, and a platform and not speaking down to this, not saying, hey, that's not right.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened because I'm old enough to see it. Richard Nixon was in control. He destroyed his opponent in '72. He beat George McGovern by 70%. And the next thing you knew, the country rose, the Congress rose, the people that represented, and they rose because they were told by people in this country that there was something wrong with somebody saying that the FBI should shut down an investigation of something that was absolutely unconstitutional. It happened, and that's why I can feel really good about the idea of shutting down Donald Trump and his administration.
So
It's
how are we gonna do
happened
that?
before.
Wait,
it has to be one
I got a
person.
question. I got a question. So, you campaigned for Nixon,
Yeah.
and through the whole course of the campaign, did you ever feel like there was something shady going
Yeah.
on, or something was
Yeah.
fishy?
Oh yeah.
And so, even though knowing that something was fishy going on, and you pressed on,
Yeah.
like, did you think, okay,
Yeah.
the cards are falling at some point? Did
Yeah, I
you
made
know?
a big mistake. I thought Richard Nixon was a man of the people. I thought he would would be, he talked about being a person that would help minorities, that would make a difference for the country. I was young. I was very young right then.
Right.
And that's okay. You know, it's okay to be young and wrong, but it's not okay to be young and wrong and wrong and wrong again.
Right.
All right? We've got to make a stand and say, it's time to change. I went from being a Nixon supporter to being 180 degrees different in 4 years and supporting George McGovern, who was pro-minority, anti-Vietnam, all the things that I thought, you know, that's what Richard Nixon should have been, but I was fooled.
How much of a comparison or a mirror image do you think Nixon and Trump have? Because you see a lot of articles that people say that this is like Nixon Part 2, or this would be, you know, the Whitewater is
Nixon
Part 2.
This is like
So how
Nixon like Hitler Part 2. What you mean?
Well, in some respects, this is worse than Nixon. You're absolutely right. This looks more like the 30s in Germany than it does anything else.
When you try to control the media and control like what people think, and like people can't laugh, somebody don't make fun of you. You want to just like take their whole security clearance,
exactly,
just because they don't like what you're saying.
Yeah,
that's Hitler type shit.
When you shut down the courts, when you shut down the idea of free speech. I mean, Nixon tried to do that, but didn't get away with it. Right now, his own party doesn't have the guts, doesn't have the balls to stand up to it.
Why is that? Like,
well,
what's that about?
Because
isn't the Supreme Court need to be worried about Congress?
My problem is, why wouldn't they want to stand up to somebody who's not like them?
Well,
they're all politicians, but technically he's not.
So why not? Are they being paid off? Like, what is it?
Well, I think some of them are. I don't think there's any question that there are people in this country who have so much money that they can intimidate people that would otherwise make a decision about standing up to Donald Trump. Money is gone right now, and there are too many people that have too much of it. Now, there's only one thing that's going to defeat money, and that is population, and that is the majority. The majority of the people, one person, one block, one precinct at a time.
We don't got time for that, Jeff. We gotta get Fred. I'm sorry, Fred. We got time for that. We got the internet now. We got the internet now. So it's like one country, one state at a time.
That makes it even better.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that makes it even better because you know that the Arab Spring, that was all about Twitter.
Yeah.
Arab Spring was about people getting together on Twitter and saying this guy is a tyrant.
You know,
we got to overthrow him.
It was the same for Occupy Wall Street.
Absolutely. I love the electronic world. I love the communication world because it makes it even easier in many respects for us to talk to each other and say this is not right. This is not right. And to me, you people are really empowered. You are really smart. You understand what's important. I think that this generation, the millennials, are absolutely where they need to be. All they need is a little bit of direction, and you can
take it.
Okay. Forget about those.
Millennials say, "Fuck
forget about those folks." Forget about those folks. All right. Just because one person says no doesn't mean you don't go after the next one.
No doubt.
Very true.
There is only one way to change the world. This was a lady way a long time ago, Margaret Mead. She said, things change only by a few people who care, getting together and doing it. And I'm not talking about
right now.
I'm talking about the civil rights movement when Medgar Evers and Martin Luther King and John Lewis and I knew all those guys, Malcolm X. They all said, we may not get to the mountaintop, but and we may very well be ostracized, and we may lose our friends, and we may even be in prison, or we may even get killed because of this. I feel that way right now, just like I did back then. I didn't have as much courage as those guys did, but I still know that they were the kind of guys that inspired me then, and they inspire me now. That's why I've tried to help people over the years. That's why I want to make sure that your generation understands just what they did and how courageous that is. And it's not all that courageous to walk down the block and to knock on the door and say, this is wrong.
Hey, Fred, a lot of folks get shot while other people doing it.
Sure they do. I am a white guy. Everybody looks up to me. They think I'm a really cool guy. I don't need the courage to do that.
Right.
I know that I can say that, but you guys have to do it.
So you recognize white privilege?
Absolutely. I can talk about that all the time, and I can complain about the fact that my generation is screwed up, and they have suppressed the folks that need to be empowered at this point. But I can't do anything about it.
I know. Only you have done a lot about it.
Only you can do something about it.
Only me?
Or you.
What do you mean? What person?
Or use the oppressor.
I'm saying is only the rising tide. The rising tide of people that know it's important to make a change right now. And I'm talking about young people.
No, it's all about the young
I will keep giving money.
That's us.
I will keep doing what's necessary to support you. Again, it's one person at a time. I feel really good right now. I am so optimistic. I feel like the future of medicine, the future of economics, the future of politics is going into a golden age. That my generation is going to be, they're going to be in the minority.
Yeah.
You guys, if you just start right now and you take it one day at a time, one person at a time, one block at a time, one precinct, you're going to make all the difference. Yeah, it's this kind of talk that's going to inspire people. It was the most inspiring thing in the world to see Martin Luther King talk out of a jail cell, to see Nelson Mandela talk out of a jail cell.
That changed
There's
everything.
nothing more exciting to me. And what I want to do is make sure that you understand just what it takes to make the difference. And I want you to join together to do it.
I love it. Hey, man. Let's give it up for Fred. Man, this is so,
All right, so I got a question for Fred. So you say you do a lot of work with homelessness, homeless people in the city.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a big, I say, movement for like people that they're searching, to help these people like with the mental health and things?
Yeah, there is. The funny thing is, you think about Trump and his administration. The funny thing is that the crazy thing is that Obamacare, which was an incredibly, just an earth-shaking thing that happened in 2009. It was one of the greatest things that ever happened to America. Obamacare is still there.
Right.
It's still doing things. Now, the people that don't like Obamacare, you know who they are going to try to do everything they can to wreck it. But, the genie is out of the bottle. And there are people that are helping. There are people that are helping the people that need mental health care. Folks are getting insurance so that they can actually do that. They can get their mental health care.
Even for homeless people, though, they can.
Right now, homeless people can actually get into public organizations. I know that I work for an organization, what we call a federally qualified health center, down in the barrio. And there was actually a psychiatrist that was dedicated enough. She was somebody who worked at the medical school. She went down and she worked with me to help people at the barrio clinic that needed, people with absolutely nothing, get health care. There are still courageous people that will do that, professionals that will do that. And it's a wonderful thing to see that happen. Now it has to be, we have to keep after it just like we keep after anything else in terms of progress. But I want people to understand that Obamacare and healthcare reform is still moving. There's a town hall tomorrow. My representative from right here, if you guys live in this area, Lloyd Doggett, is meeting at SAC tomorrow. And he's got state senators
what time is that at?
10 o'clock at San Antonio College. And he's put together a bill with with Representative Cummins, the African American from Maryland, who is a wonderful advocate for
You say black guy.
a black guy from Maryland. They're putting together a bill to make it possible for people to save money on their medicines. The Republicans, I have to say, the Republicans passed a bill back in the 90s saying that the government couldn't negotiate to get good prices for medicines. Well, the people like
Wait a second. What?
everybody,
What?
in fact, even Donald Trump said that's ridiculous. Well, he hadn't done anything about it, but the Democrats and some Republicans have decided that that's so screwed up that they put together legislation. And if we could go to rallies like that with Congressman Doggett and the Senator Menendez and the people here in Texas that are for that, and we can stand up and say that's the one thing that we want to call our senators and representatives and make sure happens. Who could possibly be against the government negotiating with the big pharmaceutical industry to have all that money?
Right.
That'll charge you $2,000 for epinephrine that'll save your life.
Right.
And nobody's going to be against that. That's one of those things that you could go tomorrow and make one stand about. One stand about that could make all the difference in the world. So if we could get 200, 300 more people out to SAC tomorrow.
But it ain't that easy for some reason.
Well, all I'm going to say is,
I guess you have to, like you said, you have to unite the people.
some people say, I dream dreams that never were, and say, why not? Why not? That's all I can say.
I mean, trust me, I'm very optimistic. I'm all about looking forward and being positive, but it should be happening now.
Okay, you guys know about this right now. The people on this podcast know about this right now. That's more people than 30 minutes ago.
Right.
Okay? All I can say is the snowball starts at the top.
I feel you, but Ed, I'm pretty sure somebody just got shot right now. Somebody just got this racist guy getting beat.
Yeah,
Right
that makes
now
me
they're
even
trying to
more.
pass
That makes me even more pissed off.
Fred, do you know
I
that?
hope it makes everybody more
You
pissed
know
off.
they're trying to pass a federal law, a federal bill to not have lynching.
Yeah.
Federal lynching.
Yeah, the
Why?
worst lynching.
You were just telling me this would be an easy thing.
No, it's not an easy
You know,
thing. That's not an easy
no, I'm
thing.
talking about if we were to just the bill you were just talking about, like it
Nothing
should be.
Nothing easy.
But we still trying to get a non-lynching law.
That's right.
Why,
The
you
worst
know, in
lynching,
2018.
the worst lynching in the United States was a gentleman by the name of Jefferson in 1916 in Waco. He was dragged out of a courtroom. He was dragged through the streets. He was lynched and burned in the middle of Waco, Texas. I know all about it. There's a book written about it. I'm trying to get a monument to him in Waco. I'm trying to move the lynching museum to give me a monument to put in Waco to signify that particular
So is
lynching.
there a petition
There's
or
a
something
book about
going
that.
around?
Oh yeah, there's a lynching
Like, how do
museum.
you know?
There's a lynching museum in
Alabama.
Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah, I know. It just
And
don't
they
count.
are putting those monuments in every place. I want to put one there, and I want to put one in my
And we need to
in my
tear down
father's.
these slave monuments of these bastards.
Of
That's
course.
fucking
My
weird.
father pointed out the lynching tree in his hometown in Athens, Texas. I want to put a monument right there too. You can do that, and people will think about it. People will listen. That's one person doing one thing.
But we need more of you.
Okay. I don't think you can count on my generation.
But we can count on y'all kids.
I don't think you can count
Oh,
on my
I'm
generation.
not.
All right.
I'm not. But
There are
like you said, it's
so
one at
many.
a time.
There are so many people in your generation, one by one, that can talk to each other and make a difference. I'm not going to be effective. Unfortunately, my generation's fucked up. I'm sorry. I take that out. Take that out. It is all up to you guys. And all I can do is point to those folks back in the 60s that gave their lives for the same thing.
No, but see, that's something we forget about though. Like we wouldn't have come this far, as blacks and browns, if there wasn't white people who were like, "This is wrong."
There were some people like that.
There were people like you. They had to have been.
There were some people like that. But let's not look back. Let's not look back.
But I feel like we have to look back, Fred, because if we don't know where we've been, you don't know what's behind you, you don't know what's around you. And I feel like we live in a generation where, yeah, this generation is dope, but if they don't know what happened,
okay,
and they don't preach about it or teach about
hey,
it,
listen,
I want to educate.
Yeah.
You lived through it.
we got infinite communication. All you have to do is say, think about what happened back in the 60s. Look it up. Google it. Look at those people hanging from those trees. Look at those people on those bridges getting beat up. Look at those people in jail. I mean, you got infinite communication right now.
All kind of shit.
And I still go back and I look at those things, and it inspires me to keep getting up in the morning and keep going down and taking care of those people, those homeless people, and those people in the barrios. That's what inspires me. There's no question in my mind that it will inspire all of you.
You inspire me.
No question whatsoever. It'll inspire all of you, and you'll be able to get other people to do the same thing. I have no doubt in my mind. This is the greatest generation. You people right here are the greatest generation. Not me.
Makes no always look at us and go, damn.
We did some things.
Trash.
I know.
Well,
But
we did some
I feel like
things.
we live in the best fucking time.
We didn't
We're in
do
the best
enough.
time.
I got to see a lot of idiots. It's like it's
And it's time to.
But you're right.
It's time to.
You're right. We are the
It's
best.
time to live off the good things from the past. Forget about the crap. Forget about not forget about the lynchings, but don't let that stand in the way.
Don't stop it.
Don't let that stand in the way. I'm a blessed, privileged person from my generation, but I know that we fucked up, and I know that we need to do everything we can to try to inspire you guys to make it right. Make it right. And you will. I don't have any question whatsoever.
Thank you, Mr. Fred
There it is.
Campbell. You are the truth. You are a citizen of the Detail Data podcast. You heard it. Everything from
It's a
Nixon
privilege. It's a privilege.
to lynching,
It's a
white
privilege.
privilege
I wouldn't
to
expect
truth.
Nixon.
So,
The privilege to
yeah,
be
we
here.
gotta do a part 2 of this right here for sure. Because we need to come back and talk about the Nixon stories.
Thank you for the chance to to do what I can to make sure you guys follow through. I think you will. I don't think there's anything. You'll follow through.
Man, thank you for
Make
Thank
me
you for
proud.
gracing us with
Make
your
everybody
presence.
proud.
and inspiring us and doing the things that you're doing despite your generation,
Privilege.
despite the thing that's going on, because it's one thing to be privileged, because to me, just by saying privilege means you really you're unaware of what other people are going through. That's the part of being privileged. Like, you don't understand. You don't have to wake up and think about
Right.
how you're going to deal with a police officer today.
Right.
But you recognize that there's people that have to wake up and deal with this stuff. And I appreciate you being conscious. I appreciate you taking the time out to come here. I appreciate your energy that you bring every time you come into the shop. This man literally has walked in the shop. He comes into the back door, first of all. And that's how fair. That's how much fair. He comes in like a mom.
Floss with me? I can't even.
He'll come in. Hold up. He'll come in playing the podcast out loud, speakerphone, like I'm listening to y'all right now.
Yeah.
Bro, that
reminds me. It
That's
reminds me of a
so real.
story. You guys prayed before you came in. Reminds me of a story. Jesus was talking to a bunch of people, and 4 guys got together and they picked up a guy that was crippled, and they brought him in through the back or from the top or something, because they had to get this guy some help. Okay, so you come in from wherever you want to come in from. You come in from from awful backgrounds, from discrimination, from all of your from really, really horrible things happening to you, and lots of obstacles. Come in from all of that, and you say, "Hey, there's a better life. There's a better life," and that's what Jesus was all about.
Right.
So thank you for making that. Thank you for starting that
all right, man.
All right, I'm trying this whole time now.
Break it down. Alright, so this weekend I had hey, bro, can you turn it to me, bro? It's about you. I'm sorry. Thanks, bro. Nah, but this weekend I got to go. I got invited to George's wedding.
How many heads you cut?
About 7.
I'm sorry, Liz.
6 or 7.
I have side questions.
I had to cut all this groomsmen up, so it was an all-day affair. I treated at like 8:30 in the morning.
Cut any NBA heads that you don't normally cut on a humble.
No, I cut everybody I did that.
Okay.
George and Liam. Liam was his so I cut them too. The whole entire experience was dope. So I'm gonna just back up. So when I get to the Rocketary Resort Spa, right?
Okay.
I get to the room, he tells me, I call my young head, he's like, cool, come up to the room straight. You know what I mean? So I go to a whole room that he's got set up for me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I go in there and there's bottles of Moet, mimosas, burritos, and tacos, and fruit, and berries, and cheese, and all kind of, Anyway, so the whole experience was dope, man. I cut him up first, and then I cut George, and then he's got a whole camera crew in there, like it's a reality show shit.
Okay.
So I felt like it was about me, because that whole situation was about the barber cutting everybody's hair. So we're in this room, I'm set up, they got this kind of stuff all around me. And so I'm cutting, they got the cameraman over my neck, over my shoulder. No, I'm very, very, very.
I don't like when you watch you bartend. Don't look
I
at me.
love it. I go live every morning. So I love the camera. I love the camera.
I'll look at you when I'm bartending and shaking the tin, look at you like, fucking look at me.
So I cut everybody's hair up, I get everybody fresh. That finishes up at 3 o'clock.
Right.
3 o'clock, I finish at 3, I gotta rush on because the wedding starts at 5:30. Now this wedding is from 5:30 to 2 a.m.
Oh, that's
It's the longest wedding in history.
Man.
So every wedding that I've ever been to, because me and the wife, we love weddings. We go to weddings, and even like my wedding, it's like boom, 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 boom. Like whatever, the wedding, the reception, like that shit is like on a time frame.
Right.
Not this way. This wedding was like boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like 5 hours. So we had the wedding. Then it was like a pre-reception, then a reception. You know what I'm saying?
Stop.
Yes.
What happens in a
It's called
pre-reception?
the cocktail hour.
Cocktail hour. I
That's
don't know. I have the itinerary in my car. I should have brought the itinerary in here.
A cocktail hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where you
So,
mingle
alright,
with
so-
guests.
What you mean? Cocktail
So-
hours the whole way through?
Let me tell you. All right. So first of all, I got to. So all right. So let me just start at the wedding. Let's get to the juice because I know they wait. All right. So Popovich, right? Popovich, the king,
The god.
the icon, the
The
god,
legend.
the legend.
How many rings he's
living legend.
How many rings
That
he
man. You tell me.
got
Because I don't watch
five.
sports.
You got 5 rings.
5 fucking rings.
You got 5 rings.
Jesus. So anyway, so me and the wife, we sitting in there, we in the back row, we chilling, we second in the back row, and we chilling. I left to go to the car to get something, charge my phone or something. I come back, no, I wasn't there. I was already there. I come back, and as I'm walking on my row, I see Popovich in the row right behind me. So I'm like, I sit down next to the wife, like, that's Pop. She's like, I know. So I'm like, all right, cool, but I'm not starstruck, none of that. But I'm like, cool, man, I'm feeling good. Like, it's gonna be a good day. Like, Greg Popovich is literally sitting right behind me. Like, he's in arm's distance to me. So I'm chilling, right? We smoked on the way to the wedding. So my breath is hot. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. I'm like, damn, my shit kind of warm, right? So I asked her, I'm like, babe, you got some guns? She's like, nah, I ain't got nothing. So I asked my boy Davey, he was in the building too. He was sitting behind me. Davey, you got some guns? He's like, nah. Like, man, so I asked his girl, and I asked the girl next to the wife, and then the person next to them, nobody got guns.
Tell me.
Hold up. No, don't interrupt this shit. Fuck me. Tell me. Listen, so then I asked the lady in front of me, in front of my wife. Then I asked the the dude that was in front of me. Then Popovich is right here. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going around the clock. I started from right, and if Pop was 12 o'clock. I started at 1 o'clock. So I went around.
Save the best for last.
I went around. No gum. No gum. Who's next in my line of fire?
The God.
The God. Does detail hesitate?
Fuck no.
Fuck no. So what I do is, just like a player, I went through. I was looking for somebody else maybe to ask, but he was next. So I'm gonna turn around and do what I did to him. Okay, y'all listen.
Here it goes.
I'm like,
Here it goes, y'all.
get the little twist right.
Here it goes, y'all.
All right, so I'm like, ask all y'all, your pop.
Okay.
No gum.
Oh, you're gonna like shit up.
Come on, hold on. All right, let me turn back around.
Yeah, come this way.
Turn back this way. Y'all bear with me.
Well, careful.
Okay. All right. No, because you got to see and feel this shit.
Okay.
All right, so no gum, pop.
Wait. You shimmy?
Yeah, I shimmy. Inside, spiritually, I shimmy. I didn't shimmy outside because I didn't want him to feel my, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, so I was like a man, yo, Bob. He leaned over, like, hey, you got any gum? He was like, did he have gum? He's like, nah, I ain't got no gum. I was like, all right, cool. So I turn back around, and I'm like smiling at my wife, like, I just stopped the fucking pop, bitch. Right? Yeah, so listen, 30 seconds to a minute later, to a minute later, I feel a tap on my shoulder to the right.
Who was it?
Who was
Who was it,
It's
dog?
Popovich.
He had gum?
He tapped me on my shoulder, and I'm like, oh, what's up, Pop? He leaned into me and said, ain't nobody ever asked me that before. He was like, why do I need some? I was like, no, man, I need some. So that was the icebreaker. We both laughed.
Oh my God.
It was fucking, I felt like, I don't know why. It's feeling like it's by another band, but that's what it was. He was like, no one ever asked me that before. So I was like, I was the first for him.
Is it a memory forever?
Yes. So listen, now I gotta show you how I turned around after talking to Pop. And so you're Melinda, right? Y'all my wife.
Okay.
After I finished turning around talking to Pop, I was like, blah blah blah, ha ha ha. Dog, my chest was so. I was like, we can leave. I was like,
Done.
we're done.
Yeah.
So that was my first encounter with Greg. Okay. Or Pop, yeah.
Oh,
We got Pop. Legit, you know what I'm saying?
So you saw him more than once?
Yes. So that was the first experience. We laughed, we kiki for a second. That was so dope. I wanted to do the bullshit selfie and kind of like catch him in the background. But I was like, that's whack. Because I seen people in the crowd doing it, like trying to take a selfie with Greg in the background. I was like, nah, man.
He's like,
We're friends with him now.
we're more
We're homies now. I ain't gotta do that.
And
All right, so listen,
that's
the wedding's over. So now it's the pre-reception. What do you call it?
Cocktail.
The cocktail hour.
I've never knew about this.
So me and Mel in the cocktail hour, we're chilling, right? Here comes Popovich. He's coming through. He's hitting all the basketball players. Boom, boom. So here's Mel in my ear talking about, I bet you won't go talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Just like Mel to be pushing me. She knows in my heart.
Shout out to Mel.
I was like, so I see him coming through, right? I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is my homeboy now. We homies. Like, we kiki. No one else in here had a laugh with Greg but me.
Is Kiki a friend? I don't know. I feel like I'm
Is that
lost.
the laugh?
It's a laugh. It's a kiki.
Oh, okay, so that's
Kiki
not.
and the shit. That's, all right, anyway, let's
We gotta
stay on.
we gotta get people to know that Kiki. That's
Oh, yeah, we're not talking about do you love me? No.
that's
Yeah, none of that.
Kiki is we
Kiki
keep
is
for.
ha ha
Okay.
ha. Yeah, so anyway.
All right.
So he's coming through, right? So I'm like, all right, Mel, all right, cool. Listen, let's position ourselves right over here because I feel like he's going to hit him. This is his line of fire.
Yeah.
So we kind of position ourselves for just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you know, whatever, I'm going to talk to him. So 10 minutes go by, he's busy, all right, talking, whoop. So he finally comes through, man. He just finally like breaks away and he's like walking by himself towards the next thing. So I'm like, now or never. So I'm like, yo, Pop, how you doing, man? He's like, what's up? I was like, listen, man, I don't even watch sports. First thing he said to me was, oh, that's good, you got a life. I I can't make this
Shots
shot.
fired. Where are the gunshots at? Liz?
Yeah.
Gunshots on you. Fucking sports.
I can't make this shit up.
Bum sports.
Can't make this up. My wife is witness, right? So listen, so he's like, man, good, you got a life. I was like, but what I do
Bum
watch
sports fanatics. Can I get some?
is something unplugged. Something unplugged?
Did your computer die?
Yeah,
Is
you
that not
fucking
even
wrong.
charging? Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you figure it out, and I'm just show us going because we good right here. So listen, where was I? All right. So now me and Pop are talking, right? We're talking now, right? So I'm telling him, I'm like, what is that?
It was not plugged in.
So just plug it in and we'll figure it out.
Okay.
You're fucking up my pop story.
I'm sorry.
Do not appreciate that shit at all.
This is important.
Listen, shush. Shut it up. Alright, so, where was I? Pop, and what?
I was dealing with this.
Yeah, I'm good on
I was dealing with this. Ask him.
Okay.
What happened?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
We just won't be uploading the podcast tonight.
I already got the audio. I got the audio. Yeah. I can do MP3.
Okay it, and then just, you know what, just hit record right there.
I bet you we missed like. Who knows how long that's been
Nah,
out?
we good. It's a
There we go.
podcast.
We're back
Who,
on.
who knows how long that's been out?
This is save the day.
That was out for him.
You can
Okay,
No,
cool.
fuse it
it's like a
together.
minute.
I cracked lots of jokes, man.
Where were we? Where were we? Where were we?
Okay, so you was at Pop. How you doing?
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I'm cool and homie. And he was like, yo, I don't watch sports. And he was like, great, because all those fuckers that watch sports are dumbasses and they don't got a life. And I got one and you do too. So keep going.
Alright, so then Pop was like, so I was like, you know what, Pop? I don't watch sports, but what I do pay attention to is how you speak truth to power, and that is what I like. And I really appreciate that about what you're doing. Because I feel like you don't have to do that, and you're doing it anyway. So it was just like, nah, I'm just doing what I gotta do, what's right. And we pretty much pieced it up right then and there, and I was like, thanks. So this was the highlight. This is why my wife is my wife. This is one of those moments where I'm like, all right, you mother, you're getting it tonight. So, I'm proud and I'm coming at him with the activism point, perspective. So I don't want to sound like a fan at this point because, I would love to take a picture. Right. You know what I'm saying? But after saying this real shit, I can't be like, yo, so you can take a picture with me? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm just going to let it make it and just be like a personal experience that I'm just going to have to tell somebody and they're just not going to believe me because I'm real.
Right.
But Melinda, at that moment in time, she stepped in. She had the presence of mind. Shout out to you, baby.
Shots Mel. I had to shout Mel out 3 times because she's always on.
Dog. She steps in that moment. She's like, hey, Pop, would you mind if I take a picture? It was like, sure.
That life, man. That's perfect.
Dog, she snapped the picture in her face. No, I'm just playing. I ain't fake. So she takes the picture, man. He stands there with me, takes the picture. I was so damn happy. You look at the picture, you see.
I saw your face. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was that was just like, we walked away, and I was like, we can fucking leave. Like, it's cool.
You know what I said when I saw that picture?
What?
It's like, this nigga don't even watch basketball. What's going on in here? Like, this is bullshit, man. Like, oh my god.
That was okay. So that was my second encounter with Pop. There's a third one. What? So hold up. During the conversation, he's like, "Yo," so I'm telling him like, "Listen, I know, you speak truth to power," and I was like, I have a barbershop because I'm knowing he's moving around here. So I'm like, I got a barbershop across the street. On South Florida downtown, and I was like, and I preach that kind of stuff, this kind of dialogue in my shop, And he was like, really cool, where's your shop at? And he was like, do you have a car? I wanted to slow down because no.
Oh my god. You always
But
lecture us all the time.
Gosh, can I finish?
Yes, go
Can the
ahead.
God finish?
Go ahead.
Thank
Relax.
God, man. So, to God. So then I'm like, yeah, I got one. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's in my car, let me go get it. He's like, all right, cool. So I go to Mel, like, I don't got no cards. She was like, I know you gotta have a car. I was like, you know what? I believe I have one in the car. I don't never remember seeing one there, but I'm finna run to the car right now and just search. You know what I'm saying? So I figured I'd find a way it'd be like had grain and wax on it or something. It's like, rolled up with it or something. Just terrible. But I get to the car, I look in, I look around. You know, the other on the passenger side door is a brand new crispy box of cards.
Lovely.
Not even open yet. So like within moments, like I find it, like I'm like, whoa, it's right there. I open it, I look to the sky, I'm like, alright. So I think I shimmy back in there. I shimmy back in that joint. So now I have to like go. So now he's busy again. So, you know, now at this point he's talking to Paul George. I think that's his name.
Okay.
So
I saw you take a picture of him too.
yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
So he's talking, so Mel's like, so again, here go Mel, instigate. I bet you won't go talk to him. I bet you won't go there right now while he's talking to Paul George. I was like, don't be tempting me. Like, what? Like, you know, you gotta be, you know, anyway. So I'm like, I bet, I'm gonna go over there, but I'm gonna wait. I'll wait till they like kind of not talking. So that was like another 10 minutes. They were talking. So boom, they stopped talking. They kind of turned away from each other. So then I was like, all right, boom. So it's like maybe 20 feet walking, 20 steps. I start walking that way, right? I'm all the way, no, I'm past halfway to them. Then they start talking again. I'm like, oh! So I'm like, do I break left? I'm already committed. So I just fuck it. I'm just gonna jump in the squad. So they're talking and they're like laughing, like, damn, they look like they're really enjoying each other right now. Like, I'm gonna break that up, like little nobody me. Like, but fuck it. I got God on my side. So I walked right up to him. I didn't know Paul George's name. George Paul. What was his name?
Paul George.
Paul George. I don't know this shit, man. So, but everybody's telling me it's kind of a big deal. He's whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. I just want to talk to Pop. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go over there. I'm like, excuse me, bro. Pop, you know, here's my card. You know what I'm saying? When I said, right before I got the words out, here's my card, and he looks at me. He looks at Paul George and said, that's my barber right here. On God, on my kids, on everything I love. Pop interrupted.
Popovich said,
he looks at Paul George and says, that's my barber.
So
he kind of introduces me to Paul George at that point.
the kill shot.
Yes, stop. I must have walked away switching. Like, I think I might have I feel like I'm floating away, but I was just like, cool, you know, I tried to, you know, I played out like, you know, what's up, bro, you know, my son really likes who you are, blah, 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 blah. So I doubled back later and was like, hey, so now that, you know, Pop gave me the, okay, he threw me the alley-oop to Paul, so now I felt like me and Paul homies.
What do you feel about an alley-oop?
Come on, man, I used to play, man.
I just want to know, man. I'm just kind of jealous.
Now it was different now.
So I can't.
This is the alley-oop, baby.
Watch that.
So listen. So I walked up to Paul later and, you know, I was like, yo, you mind taking a picture with me for my son? Because he's the biggest fan.
Right.
He's going to go nuts when I show him this shit. And he was like, sure. Took a picture of the whole nine. So yeah, so anyway, so that was my third encounter with Pop. And you know, I was born on the fourth my lucky number, favorite number.
You bumped this guy 4 times.
The fourth time, so me and the wife's phones were dying. So we went to the car to charge it up. So like, we just gonna chill. Charge up the phone for a while, just talk about this whole Pop shit. And this shit is going down. Yes, nigga. You ever seen a black man blush? You should have seen my hands, dog. They were red. Anyway, so we're in the car chilling. So she's like, all right, I'm gonna go back in. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna drop you off at the front, and I'm gonna come back to the park, and I'll go back up. So I go to drop her off. Who's leaving?
So Greg Pop is just waiting.
He's on his way out the door.
What's he writing? He's writing flossing?
I'm not gonna tell him what to do. Nah, cause that's my boy.
Okay,
That's my homie. Now, I ain't gonna tell nobody that y'all riding.
One of your clients, okay.
That's my homie. Client,
I'll
client
see him at the
confidentiality. You feel me?
I'll
You know what I'm saying? Don't do Pop like that, man. So so I drop him off. I drop Mel off. He's waiting on his car. So I go get my car and I walk back up and he's getting in his car and leaving. So as he's leaving, I don't like try to stop him, none of that shit. I just like look at the car, I can see him through the tent, and I salute him. I just keep on about my business. So the last face he saw was your boy. It's your boy. So, and I can leave it at that. Like, that was just a phenomenal experience, bro. And we haven't even, all this happened before we get into the reception. This is all happened, what was it, Chicago?
Pre-cocktail.
Pre-cocktail. All this happened in pre-cocktail. So, after Pop leaves, I'll walk up to the wife and like, I'm getting messed up tonight. I'm getting drunk tonight, and I did. We got thrown. So, we're sitting in the, and this is another thing I want to point out. Everybody that went to the wedding, I've never seen this happen before. Everybody that was invited to the wedding wasn't invited to the reception. Because it was people that I saw kicking in with us at the wedding that was not in the reception, and that's kind of the best part of the wedding. So listen, so in the cocktail deal, there's a table in the middle of the cocktail, it's got cards on it. And if you are staying, you have a card with your name on it, and it tells you what table you're on. So man was like, we have a table? I was like, yeah, he personally asked me, what did you want, chicken or steak or fish? So you got it. So I walk over the table and look around, there's a few cards left, like, damn, am I in this one? But sure enough, get around to the side, Garrett Johnson, let's go. Let's go find our table. So when we go into that part, I guess that's the moment, whoever was left, that's your moment to be on out. You know what I'm saying? Yes, because, so listen, so we getting, the whole night we're kicking it with this beautiful couple. I would just say she was phenomenally beautiful, young lady next to me, and me and the wife were kicking it the whole night, not knowing who we were kicking it with. Guess who I was kicking it with? Guess who's in my DM?
We are not on it today.
Yo, so you sat at a table with a chick. Who was it?
I sat at the table with Miss USA.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't watched a Miss USA anything ever in my life.
So you can change it, right?
Yeah, he's still recording.
Yeah, Miss USA, bro.
I had no clue. So down to earth, not stuck up.
No, not at all. Like, and I think she probably recognized that we didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
So that might have probably made her comfortable. But I don't know. I just felt like their energy was, she was just authentic, real. And I didn't know until for like 2 days later, I was kicking it with Miss USA from 2017. And like, yo,
How did you find out?
Well, because, alright, so this is the cool part. This is why she's in my DM. And she ain't in my DM for no bullshit.
Right.
While we're at the table, my phone dies and they bring the first serving out, the salad. And I want to take a picture of the salad and our phones are dead. So the cool chick next to me, this is actually how we started talking. She was like, well, yo, I'll take a picture of it for you. I'll send it to you. So first of all, this is a beautiful chick. I'm a wife, right? I'm like, so is she gonna ask me for my number? Like, how's she gonna send it to me? Where's she going with this? Well, she gets on, she's like, yo, what's your IG? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. All right. I'm like, you bold? So I gave her my IG or whatever. She sends it to me. Thought nothing, but didn't even go check my IG once my phone charged to see it. Didn't check my IG for like a couple days later. She sent me the pictures of the salad or whatever. So a couple days later, I'm in my I go to my DM. I got DM? I get DMs, all right. And I'm like, oh, the pictures of the salad. And then I noticed there's a blue little check thing.
Yeah, she got it verified.
Yeah, she got the check thing by her name. So I click on it. I look at the photos. I'm like, oh shit! It should say Miss USA 2017. I'm like, I call Mel like, yo, we should have got a picture with you. But yeah, cool motherfuckers, man. So me being me, I'm like, I'm finna hit her up. Cause we had a good time. Like, it was genuine. It wasn't like, oh no fan shit. Even though now I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? But we had a real conversation and it was dope. So I hit her up like, hey man, the wife and I had a dope time, like a good time with y'all at the table. If you back in San Antonio and stuff, gotta hang out, blah blah blah. And like within 30 minutes she hit me back. Like, yo, cool, like that's what's up. Like, my phone on. Let me read the shit. You know I'm about that real, so let Let me read what happened to them.
I ain't never watched the Miss America pageant in my life. Is that the same thing when Steve Harvey fucked up the verdict? Is that the one?
Yes.
That's the
That
one.
might have been one. That might have been a one. I see if I would have known
Man,
that.
Cincinnati. Oh.
Let me see where she at. All right, so yeah, she was at the table. Her friend or boyfriend that she was with was Garrett Temple. So he plays for the Grizzlies.
Nope.
So anyway, I wouldn't know, but
I'm gonna
anyway,
say nope because I don't know. And I
yeah.
watch
Here we go. What we got? The real. Whew. Caramel color. Whew. Okay, so here's the you got your
Fancy salad.
there's the fancy salads.
Is that romaine lettuce?
Oh man, I don't know what it was, but we got seconds. That shit was great. You're not supposed to.
George Hill had
Sorry,
seconds?
George. Nah, he didn't. But we
Greedy out here, George
it was
Hill.
cool. What was the waiter's name? Anyway, it was cool. So I was like, thank you. It was awesome meeting you all. Cool people inside now. My wife and I enjoy your company. Let us know when you're back in San Antonio. We must hang out. She replies, Miss USA said to me, okay, oh, like my daughter would say, oh. She said, absolutely, y'all were great. She said his hair must have really been messed up if you had to give him your card. LOL. Yeah, he was just, it shit went bad. He just needed a cut. And I was like, not at all, but it could use a little love. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but yeah, man.
Detail cut.
So, all right, so I met Greg Popovich, Miss USA, Paul George. Greg Hill had the dopest wedding I've ever been to in life.
George.
Like, congratulations to George and Sam. Y'all are the awesomest, most greatest. Y'all are the reason that I had this fucking awesome experience. So shout out to Greg, to George Hill, for everything. And then after that, there's another thing that happened that was cool.
What happened?
Something else happened that was cool. Oh, so Monday, I call into my favorite radio show.
Yes.
What's
your favorite
XM.
show? Everybody know.
Everybody got to know Karen Hunter on XM Radio. The whole Joe Madison is called The Urban View. Only reason I have XM Radio is life. That shit changed my life. So I learn shit, new shit every day. But I really look up to, and respect everything she's about. So I've been listening to her for like over a couple years now, but I never had the courage to call in because she's fucking really smart and she don't play that shit. If you don't know your shit, she's gonna be and she called me out on something too. So anyway, so today after I did the voter registration, I became deputy voter registrar. So I was feeling like, all right, now I'm doing something. Now I can call up there and I can say, you always talk about what you're gonna do about it. I'm doing something about it.
All right, so wait, stop before you go into it.
Okay.
South Crown Barbershop, 1010 South Flores, San Antonio, Texas, is a registered place.
Yes.
You can register. The citizens of San Antonio can register to vote.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
100% correct.
100% correct. And I'm you get the clap.
Can I please get the claps for that?
Yeah,
Please.
she offered today.
Now I don't want the clap for that, but I want applause for that. I promise I want the clap for that.
No, it's nothing to it. It's only step one, but it is me taking action of doing my part. But I caught up to the show. I was on hold for like a long time, and I finally got on, and I was able to talk to her. And I told her what we're doing at South Crown with the whole voter registration thing and the whole back to school thing. And she was like, what she say? She gave South Crown a shout out.
She said she loved you. I heard.
Yeah, she said she loved me. She said Derek about
She said,
5
Derek,
times.
I love you.
She said she took down my number in case she's ever in San Antonio. She told everybody in the world, or the million people that listen to her show, like millions, and in Canada, that if they're in San Antonio, to come, South Crown Barbershop and come holler at us to get your life back. Not just haircut, but and then they spoke for like another 2 or 3 minutes after that, based on what I said. Like their dialogue was still going off of what they were like. They were still talking about me in a sense for a couple minutes after I hung up. You know what I'm saying? And I got the hand claps. I got some other sound effects. I've been back and listened to it a few times.
She told you she loved you. She's like,
Yeah, she said, and I don't hear her say that shit a lot. So yeah, it's cool though, because right after me, the next caller called in, and he said some pretty cool stuff, some deep things, right? But Karen and them being so smart, one of the people on the show was like, "Damn, that sounds like a bunch of Instagram posts back to back to back, and they kind of like clowned him because and then Karen was like, yeah, it does, like you know how people like those. I don't know, but
those quotes, you take a picture.
yes, they said, man, it sounded like he just read like 3 Instagram quotes back to back. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, but that could have been me. But if I would have called a year ago, that would have been me.
But you know, like you said, like if they see what's genuine, they see what's real. And,
Yeah, that shit was.
when it's not real, they're quick to
That
point
made
it
my
out.
day. Pop, Miss USA, George Hill, all the whole thing, that whole wedding situation, that blessing, and then Karen Hunter. It's been a hell of a week, man.
Man, it
It's
ain't
been a
even,
hell of a
it
week.
ain't even October yet, man.
I know. That's why it's going down, because October is the month of the year.
That's why I said that.
Yeah,
It's even October.
baby. Yes, I'm just imagine. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. I want to thank all my guests, Dr. Fred Campbell, for kicking it with us, giving us so much good stuff today. He went deeper than I thought he was going to
Oh
go.
yeah,
He went deeper than rap.
he's awesome.
Like, he's extra awesome.
We'll
Like,
get him in to go.
yeah, we gotta get
Gotta
him
come
back
in
in
again.
here.
A
'Cause
whole episode.
he saw Martin Luther King in jail, like, wait, like, stop.
And Nixon.
Nixon, you help? Stop.
Yeah, Nixon stories for
Like,
sure.
though, he
Yeah.
said about 30 things where there were all individual podcasts you could
Yeah.
do on that shit.
Definitely.
So, shout out to Fred, man.
Interesting,
He's the most interesting man. What's that dude?
Most interesting man in the world.
That was him. Straight up. So let me see. Yeah, make sure you like and comment on the platforms:
Share,
iTunes,
tell your
SoundCloud, Spotify, Tidal, Pornhub. This nigga Lance stupid. Good one, Lance. All right, you got it.
They pay us. I mean, why not?
Yeah, for real. I'll be forever.
Are they paying?
Right. What else we
I
got?
guess we're on port code.
Yeah. Wait, what else we got? That was it. All right. Okay.
That's it.
That's it. No, what's it?
Shut up.
Shout outs. Give us our shout outs.
Oh, okay.
Everybody.
Shout
Yeah,
out
give us some
to-
shout outs and give us your IG and all that good stuff so everybody can follow us. Yeah. I'm Detail Did It. Or Detail Cuts on IG. It's just like it's spelled. Lizzie.
I am Lizzie Shaw 33 LIZZIESHAW 33.
Oh, alphabet.
It's not with a Y, it's IE.
It's Ant So Ready at Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook too. Ant So Ready. Real easy.
Word.
I'm Ariana E. Alonso, ARIANAEALONZO. Just kidding. No, on Instagram. Way more interesting there, I guess. There's a lot of pictures of babies.
We love it. Family is everything.
IG officials ain't done. You can look up Rich Life Hosted Films or book us or anything that you have for events, management, anything. You know what I'm saying? RLHbooking@gmail.com.
Already.
Shout out to Lance.
Shout out
too.
to Lance. Who else is on team in here? Shout out to the whole South Brown team. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Miss Porter, who's going to be doing Dances for the Stars this weekend. So, good luck, Miss Porter. Me and my mama will be there, looking out for you, cheering you on. So, yeah, she's going to be doing poetry, actually. She's going to be doing the poetry slam. So, yeah, again, this is the Detailed Data Podcast.
Wait, got a question.
This nigga always do this
Yeah.
out of this shit.
The back to school bash.
Yeah.
Are we giving away free cuts?
Yeah, everything's free.
We're
This
all,
is a free
Everything's
event.
we gotta
Only
be
thing
clear,
that's
let
not
people know
free,
they can come out
we
and
doing
do it.
basic cuts, okay? You come in and talk about some birthdays with a design.
See,
Nah, bruh.
you need to tell that. You need to tell
Nah,
that.
bro. No, it says it on the flyer, and I don't mind repeating it.
Holidays,
Basic.
all even, easy.
Basic.
It's free.
Free. But yeah, but listen, real quick. George Hill just hit me up. He said he just purchased 150 book bags.
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah, George Hill just hit me up. It's in my thing. He's like, yo, I just purchased 150 bags. It's gonna be filled with
all types
with
of
all the
supplies.
supplies from. No, he did 50 bags, clear bags for the elementary, 50 bags for middle school, and 50 bags for high schoolers. So yeah, so after that it's a wrap. And then we got other book bags too. But as far as George Hill is concerned, he really put it down this time, and I really appreciate it. It's the first time we're doing it, so this beginning of something beautiful. Again,
You're now tuned into the Detail Did It podcast. Come catch a fade,
God damn, boy, what's that? Some kind of weed or something?